Hi guys, we're back at Smash Fishing. We're going down the beach. It's currently 2 in the morning. I'm a little bit tired because I've been out fishing a lot lately, but we're going out foraging. Hopefully we can start off in the first bay and get some bass or some fish or anything really. And then we're going to move to another spot because it's a big tide, and hopefully we can find some scallops, some prawns or anything else really. So stay tuned. It's Smash Fishing, baby. Woo! I've got my bass gauge with me today, just because if I do catch a few bass I might land a few. Obviously I haven't been making videos lately, so it'd be nice to earn a few bucks. We've got the foraging hook as well for later on, so we're going to strap the bag up. We're going to rush down the beach because we haven't got long to fish this. It's lovely to be out foraging again. Finally we got the weather I can actually do it. We've had so much storms lately with rain, and it's been so hard to get out. Come on, let's go catch some bass. Got a squid, guys. Oh yeah. Is there any more? Just keeping an eye out just in case there's any bass. But that there, that's a beautiful sized squid. Check that out. First creature of the night. I've seen a bass already, but it was too far away from me. I couldn't get it. I'm hoping we can quickly walk up this gully and find some more. But happy with that. Nice squid. First creature down. Let's get it in the foraging bag and we're good to go. It's always a welcome surprise seeing a nice squid. They've been quite slow this year so far. And we're lucky enough to get one tonight. And as you can see, the ground I'm looking for these bass in, big mix of boulder beds and sand. They always seem to be congregated in shallow water around these boulders and stuff. Really interesting. Look how fast this tide moves out. And this is why the bass leave at the last minute. They're trying to catch all the bait fish coming out of these streams, and I always try and intercept them. So this is a gully that basically it leads to the open sea, and I basically cut it off and I walk up it first and try and catch them out as they're leaving. Well, I only seen the one bass, and the other spot I've seen absolutely nothing. It's been dead. Usually there's a lot of bass around here, but hey, that's how it goes. So what we're going to do, guys, is going to head to another beach now. Hopefully we can go find some other crustaceans. We are at the second spot, guys. We've got our delicious little squid here. Perfect eating size squid, that. But I've brought the foraging hook this time because this spot we can find stuff like lobsters and crabs and prawns and stuff like that. The Hemingway has been well used. But I tell you what a bike. I've had no problems with this whatsoever, and I've put this thing through the mill. Look how dirty and well used that is. What a cracking bike. We're in the new spot now, guys, and as you can see, it's a lot more different ground. It's a lot more muddy here. It's a lot more silty, should I say. So it holds a lot more variety of life than the other spot where it's more just the bass, the odd squid and stuff. I find absolutely anything around here, so I tend to just have a really slow walk around. That oyster's met its match. The recent storms have broken that one, I reckon. Starting to see a few more of these starting to grow around Guernsey. Nice to see. There's another one just there, look. You can see how well they weld themselves to the rocks. There is actually quite a lot of oysters on this beach. Look at that one. What a beauty. It's a lot bigger, that. Interesting to see. I've never really looked around this higher up sort of shoreline to see how many oysters are around, but seems to be quite a few. See a scallop shell here, and it's not a keeper. Come on, we're in the spot where I usually find a few scallops and stuff, so I'm hoping we can find some today. Check this one out, guys. Oh yeah, I can see his mouth open here, and that is an absolute buster of a scallop. Look at the size of that. That's bigger than my hand. And look at the roe in there. Beautiful, beautiful orange. Get those off. That is a beautiful size scallop, that. That's probably one of the biggest scallops I've ever foraged. Size of that compared to my hand. That's going to go down nicely for a catch and cook that bad boy. When I'm walking around looking for scallops in the shallows like this, I'm being as quiet as I can, because usually you can hear them flapping. They'll be squirting water out, or you'll hear like a clicking sound. And that's the shell of the scallop just clapping together. Hopefully find a few more to eat. Look at that for a solid brown crab. That hasn't shed his shell in a while. Lovely to see though. Really solid crab, that one. We're not finding a massive amount at the moment, but I'm still pursuing. It's a nice old hole underneath there. There's a lot of prawns under there as well. Look at the size of some of these. Real big prawns. There's a lot of old bits of iron around here, look at that. Finding a lot of it, old parts of tracks. Not really sure what they were for, but always find it interesting, the different stuff that's on the beach. You find bottles and all sorts of stuff. There doesn't seem to be a huge amount of seafood around tonight, but we will still keep going. Someone's crab pots are all tangled up here. Just going to untie it for him. I don't know whose it is, but he ain't going to get his bobber back if he's all wrapped up like that. There we go. So whoever's pot that is, your rope was tangled. Just going to go make sure. You can see these have been flipped all the way up the reef. Just making sure his bobber can float up, and then he'll be able to see his bobbers then. And there we go. He's all out the rocks, ready to go. Yeah, baby! Check that bad boy out. That is another clunker. Look at that, it's just as big as the other one. Really solid, healthy scallops these bad boys are. We're gonna have a good mooch around here now, see if we can find some more. Two beautiful scallops. And we got a nice squid as well. Just goes to show, after a storm is always a great time to go foraging. Really hoping we can find a few more. The size of those scallops, you're going to get a nice nugget of meat out of them. Come on, you beauties. I'm really surprised we haven't found any more squid. I really thought we'd find a few more tonight, but hey ho, that's how it goes with fishing. You just never know. That tiny little mullet in there. I was wondering what these fish were. There was hundreds of them. Little tiny mullet. Interesting. Another species to add to the night. That there is a juvenile pollock. And you find in like late summer, you tend to get these in mass shoals swimming around. Where coming into the winter now, they're all starting to sort of, I don't know whether they move offshore or what they do, but they tend to disappear a bit when it gets to this sort of time of year. So relaxing, just mooch my way around, just looking out for any sort of little creatures. You never know, you might even get something cool. A Venus clam there. I think it's dead, that one. Yeah. I used to find like hundreds of clams around here, and ever since the gilt heads showed up, I've just seen less and less, to the point where I barely even find a clam sitting on the surface anymore. Really interesting. The gilt heads definitely eat the clam population, that's for sure. It's really hard to tell what species of mullet they are. They're so tiny. Oh, what is this? Is it a mullet? Oh, it is a mullet. I thought I had a baby gilthead. Check that. That is perfection in miniature right there. I absolutely love doing this, going out finding the mini species. It looks like a fin-lip mullet or a golden grey maybe. It's so interesting. Cool little creature. That's a future generation right there. Let's get it back. I'm just heading my way up the beach now, guys. Just having a little mooch through the pools as I work my way up. As I said before, I can't find any Venus clams around here anymore. And there used to be hundreds. Plenty of shells here. But all of the loose ones have definitely been eaten. Oh, another dead one. So that was alive then. We might have found the lucky straggler, but he has definitely been devoured. We are finally back to the wagon. Woo, what a trek that was. And we've got one lovely squid and a couple of beauty scallops. That's what we want to see. And both of them are about the same size as well. Great to see. We are back in the kitchen, guys. We've got a lovely squid here. We've got, look at the size of these scallop meats. They're massive. So I shocked these scallops last night because I didn't want to leave them in the fridge. So there you go, beautiful and fresh. I left the roe on that one because it's beautiful and orange. So what I'm going to do is quickly clean up the squid and we're going to get cooking. So dismantling a squid, guys, what I personally like to do is just break behind the head there, and you can pull the whole guts and the head out at once. I burst the ink sac on this last night, so it's a bit more messy than I usually like it to be. But behind the mantle here, if you just pinch behind there, you will be able to get your fingers behind this membrane. And then what that does is expose the beautiful white meat. Simple as that. And it really is as simple as that. So what I'm going to do is give this a really good wash off now, and then I'll turn it inside out and give it a scrub in the middle. And just in here, I don't know if you can see in here, guys, you can just turn your finger around the cartilage here, and this looks just like plastic. Give that a good pull, and there you go. That's the backbone of a squid. Looks just like plastic, it feels like plastic as well. But I believe it's some sort of calcium or something like that. If you know, guys, leave it in the comments. I'd be interested to know. And there we go. So just turn it inside out. You can see all of the stuff that you want to get rid of. So what you can do is just peel that off. Comes off very easily on squid. And there we go. Messy old job sometimes, especially when you burst the ink sac. Squid turns into a very messy job. Just going to have a few squid rings with our scallop. That there is ready for eating. You beauty. So for this squid, all I'm doing is get a pair of scissors. I like to cut that front bit off. And I'm just going to have some really thin squid rings. Scissors cut up squid so easily. It's great. And this will go nicely with a couple of big scallops to eat. We've got ourselves a nice little lunch meal. And you don't want it too thick, but just like this. Really lightly cooked. They taste absolutely amazing. So for my little flour mix that I'm going to cover everything in, I've just got plain flour, a little bit of corn flour, salt, pepper, and some Old Bay seasoning. And that is it. What I'm going to do is just chuck all my squid in there, get it all dried out. And this will give it a lovely little crisp. And I'm going to put the scallops in there as well. And there we go. We're just going to have a nice seafood crispy fry up. Look at that. And because scallops, they really do not take long to cook. With squid, they don't need long to cook either, so they go well together for cooking. Do them all in the same pan. Quick and easy. Ready to go. And you've got some juicy bits of meat. When you know your oil's hot enough. Oh yeah, look at that sizzle. So what I'm going to do is get my scallops in here. Get those starting cooking nicely. I'll start getting some squid in there as well. Once that all goes crispy, we are going to have a perfect lunchtime snack. Lovely crispy squid right there. Oh yeah. Just a light coating of that flour just gives it that little tiny bit of crisp. It doesn't have to be completely covered, but just enough to give it that little crunch. It wouldn't be right without the good old sweet chilli sauce. These squid rings are beautifully cooked now. I'm not going to give them any longer. You can see, lovely bit of crisp just on the end. That's all I was looking for. You never want to overcook squid because it goes like a rubber boot. Oh yeah. Get that one on top. Just got to wait for our scallops. Our scallops will be done in the next 10 seconds or so. If I do say so myself. That looks amazing. A little bit of the sweet chilli sauce, and that there is ready for action. Something super quick and super delicious. Can't beat a nice fresh little squid like that. I'm not a big fan of eating the big squid because you've got to tenderize them. These little ones, great eating. Ah, lovely big scallop. I was so happy to find a couple. Because we've had storms lately, I usually do find on the big tides that I will find a couple, but it's usually only a couple. I don't usually find many. More. Scallop is wow tastier than squid though. I can't lie. Oh. It's almost like crab meat in a way, where it ends up stringy like this. Interesting. But that there is to absolute die for. Interesting little trip though. I actually expected to find a bit more than I did that night. Seen a few prawns, seen one bass. Couldn't get close to the bass at all. But yeah, like with the bad weather we've had, usually there's bass everywhere around here. Like anywhere in Guernsey, you'll find bass if you wade through the water. As long as you're around reefs and stuff, you know, you've got a good chance. But only to see one bass in the spots that I go to, it's quite surprising. So stay tuned for the next episode, guys. I'm not going to leave this video for too long. I've got to get down the beach in 20 minutes, so time to hustle. If you want any merch, the link's in the description. We got Christmas coming up, so if you want any merch for family and stuff, I'd highly recommend ordering soon, because when it gets into December, we do get quite a volume of orders, so it does tend to back up a little bit. So yeah, if you want any merch, the link will be in the description, guys. With loads of cool stuff up there now. My girlfriend's done a great job of it. So stay tuned for the next episode. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. There's going to be plenty more to come. Hopefully find some more scallops. Smash fishing, baby. Woo!